do we start today? I want someone who's going to come into this city and wow me give me some hope that things are going to change. Do you have anything you can tell me and the folks that are listening to you right now that are going to go, you know what? I think maybe he's got an idea.
Oh, yeah, Erin. I'm the smart city candidate. And cities around our country are becoming smarter every single day. And what I mean by that, they're investing in technologies to run utilities more effectively.
Where do we get that money, though? We're broke.
Our budget is tight. However, there's a lot of private dollars out there. Remember, when I worked for the mayor's office doing pro bono work, my job was to get private dollars that wanted to make these investments. And the Rockefeller Foundation were interested in Shreveport and had talks with Shreveport, the Bloomberg Foundation with millions of dollars available. And if you look at Chattanooga, Tennessee, they got a federal grant that they were able to pay for their high-speed internet platform from. So there's various ways you can do this without burdening you, the taxpayer.
What will I see if that plan is implemented? What will happen in Erin McCarty's life?
A great question. One thing that you'll see is what we just saw in Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge just got the first Amazon distribution center with over 2,000 jobs coming, first in Louisiana, with over 2,000 jobs going to Baton Rouge. You think that Baton Rouge is better geographically situated than Shreveport to get that? No, they've made the long-term smart investments in technology that we haven't in Shreveport. So we'll see better jobs come to Shreveport. Again, we'll see a safer community. The implications are, they're multiple.
Erin and I tend to look at this from, I'm not going to say completely opposite sides of the coin, but let's say for the moment that, as you said, Shreveport is not a place that's flush with cash. If for the next 4 years you, Mayor Perkins, had to run Shreveport the way it exists right now, with a somewhat diminishing tax base, well, let's start there. How does the next mayor keep the tax base? How do you keep flight and economic flight? How do you stop the economic flight from our city?
Yeah, well, the two big things on everybody's mind is crime and also the lack of job opportunities here. So you have to make the city safer. And I know you hear, oh, one person can't make or break the police department, or 1 million police can't secure our city, but we pay for police officers. We pay for a police chief. So that means that we all as citizens want to try to get crime to zero. So we need to get back to trying to make our city safer. So if our city's safer, people will stop feeling so in danger all the time, and they'll stick around. I've talked to plenty of parents who, for instance, I'll give you an example. Eden Gardens has had 3 school lockdowns this year. 3 school lockdowns because of shootings in the neighborhood around Eden Gardens. And I've talked to multiple parents that are talking about leaving the city because of safety. And if you go beyond that, talk about job opportunities. People here with master's degrees are being offered less than $40,000 to work at jobs. So, yeah, if you're not living in a safe community or you feel like you don't have opportunities, absolutely you'll look elsewhere, to find those things.
But you'll hear the mayor say that crime numbers are down, and you'll look at the numbers and you'll see pretty accurate, in the big scheme of things, but not when you go out and shake hands and kiss babies.
Not at all.
The perception problem in Shreveport, what does that take to change? What will Adrian Perkins do to change it?
So you two remember one of my first interviews back in April, right after I started to run for mayor. I said that we have to create substations in our neighborhoods. We have to increase police presence in our neighborhoods. What needs to change with perception is there needs to be a bond between our police officers and the people that they're serving, so that our police officers can make them feel safe, because it's a feeling, right? Perception is a feeling. And right now people don't feel safe. So that higher presence in our neighborhoods would absolutely help.
What I take away from what you're saying is that right now in your mind that the Shreveport, the SPD, that their forces are misallocated. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So our tax dollars pay for over 500 police officers, and this has been debated. But police officers that are on patrol say we have less than 200 that are actually out patrolling our neighborhoods. If we're paying for over 500 police officers, the ratio of patrolmen versus administrators has to be turned around. It absolutely
we spend about $58 million or so on the police department.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see ways inside the department that there's waste that you can pinpoint to today to say, other than, I know you're talking about shifting the priorities of who does what. Are there other things down there we can do more efficiently?
Yeah, I think we need to have as lean as I think we need to make sure that our dollars that we are spending are on very quality police officers and making sure we stay tight administratively. What I mean by that, for instance, if a police officer fires a policeman right now, or the popular case was when the police officer assaulted the young man on the porch, and we made national news because of it. Well, the police department fired him a couple months prior to because of an assault incident at his house. But they couldn't uphold that firing at the Civil Service Board because administrative paperwork wasn't proper. So I think what we can do as far as waste is just make sure we have the best police officers possible that are out there on the streets patrolling.